Yo, everybody, this is Game Master 127. Welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. Today I have kind of a more updated one of the hero deck profile that I got rid of on the other one. The other one that I did, which I'm going to be getting rid of, so you guys will have no idea what it's about. It wasn't as updated as it is. It is now. This is now fully updated. So I think we're just going to get started right now, without further ado. Also not going to go into effects because you guys should all know what they do. I will just go into ratios and kind of explain it. 3 Stratos, I like having full access to search for everything, so that's nice. 2 Solid, I know a lot of people only do 1. A lot of people only do 1. I like having 2 Solid Soldiers because it's a good starter, and with how much the deck searches, more starters, especially for anything else, 2 Solid with almost anything is like a great hand. 2 Shadow Mist, again, for mass change. Then we got the 1 Honest Neos. I kind of wish you could run 2 of these just for like the more power, because instead of just getting rid of the 1, which is fine because there is a way you can do this. So that is where I guess it's okay. I just kind of wish it was more. I could see it more. 1 Liquid. Yes, we have the Liquid. Liquid is amazing. I would definitely. I don't know. I thought about making 2 Liquid and then 1 Solid, because being able to draw, especially with how much I've run in this thing, which you guys are going to hate me for once you guys find out how much it all is, but I'll wait till the end of the profile. I like Liquid because just drawing, I like it. It's just something that the heroes need. Again, and then the 1 random card that no one ever expects, Blazeman. Emblem Hero Blazeman. Yes, I like having Blazeman because it's also another backup Polysearcher in case like Vion gets disrupted or whatever. And then I can also send Blazeman, or have Blazeman activate his effect to send Shadow Mist to search for a card. Sure, he takes the attribute and everything like that, but most of the time, though, if you get off the search off Shadow Mist, you can almost search for almost any other elemental hero that you need. So you can search for Liquid, whatever. It's pretty nice. And then going on to the Vision Hero Standard, Ferris, Increase, Vion. Standard. Standard. Nothing more. Destiny Heroes. Mali, Standard. Celestial. I kind of thought maybe like Celestial could be cut for not Bubble Man, for Liquid Man. But the problem is, with Celestial, it's kind of nice using him to pop Secret Village, because he just has to attack. And then I can target a face-up spell card, which includes Secret Village, and destroy it. And inflict 500. It's a wonderful thing going into time. And also, it's just a nice backup thing to have. Dynatag, I do have some of the Fusion Destinies in here, and I also like having Dynatag because in case, then if I just need to reduce my opponent down, they all have to do, like, if they're below 1,000 or whatever, it's like, okay, I just have to search for Dynatag, all I have to do is just take it, have an attack, and then use Dynatag and finish them off that way. Plasma is Plasma is just really good. Decider is kind of the recycle aspect of this, and it also really helps because then in case, if they're going to go for like a Cowboy, you can return Decider to then take no damage for it. So then if you have to take a draw that way, it's a way. Not the best way, but I also just mainly use it for the recyclability, because if he's normal or special summon, so you can do it off like Fusion Destiny, and then Cross Crusader him back. Either way, I mean, you've already got the normal summon off of it. But if you don't, you can use Cross Crusader, revive him back, since you don't really need Mali. You can revive him back, get that special summon, because you can do it off a special summon, and then get a hero back at the end of the turn. 3 evil heroes. That was right. You heard me right. 3. Sinister Necron, Malicious Edge. I like having these guys because, for the most part, Malicious Edge is just in case if I need a tribute. He's also a different attribute, so in your face, super poly. And then Sinister Necron is in there just in case if I needed to get other resources, like Malicious Edge, onto the field to do piercing. Because other than that, you really don't have a lot of way of getting over defense. So it's pretty nice if you get into Malicious Edge and then Honest Neos for a nice smack 54. So that's, or 51, sorry. And then of course, the one, the only, the bank account, otherwise known as Evil Hero Adusted Gold. Adusted Gold is just, it's so good. Bane is such a good card. I don't know if I would suggest running the Adusted Gold. I mean, you could probably get away with, doing Sinister Necron and Malicious Edge for Dark Calling. You may not have to have Adusted Gold. Bane, you're really going to want Bane, but Adusted Gold, you can maybe get away with that. It's really nice if you do. So I don't know if you want to ask me, was he worth it? I didn't actually pay the $130 price for it. I actually got him for like 30 bucks off actual packs. So if I could do that for Poor Man's Yu-Gi-Oh! That'd be cool. Make sure you guys check out that series, by the way. I'm doing that. And then one Ash. Again, for the most part, I really don't care what you do. The Ash is just kind of there just in case. If it's there, I mean, I might as well give it a shot. But for the most part, I really don't care what you do, per se. I'm just kind of going to get over it. And then one Kaiju. Because for the most part, going first or second, it doesn't really matter. If you make me go first, you just adopt one strategy. You go for Plasma Dark Law. If you don't, you go for like Sunrise, Dread Dismayer, and you just kill. Going on to spells. 3 emergency calls. I know some people run it at 2. I like having it at 3. I like being able to search the deck. 3 mass change, standard. With how much mass heroes you run, you kind of have to. 2 polys. I like having the 2 polys in here compared to the 1 because you really can't recycle too much of it. Even though I do have a card that actually does specifically recycle it, but we'll get to that in a second. 2 poly is just because if poly does get DD Crowed out of your graveyard, there goes basically all your fusions, for the most part. 2 super poly. I like the super poly in here because for the most part you can still get away with fusing away. Like I have a whole bunch of like super poly targets in here, and I like seeing it more than I would the Fusion Destinies. And I only like having the 2 Fusion Destiny in here because I only actually run 1 of the Destiny Hero fusions. The problem I have with Fusion Destiny, especially now, is with Sunrise, his second effect is basically you just declare and it pops. It's pretty nice in battle phase to protect Plasma and also boost up Plasma. Because Plasma is just really weak by himself. So going into Plasma, having Sunrise, and then either Decider or, not Decider, Dystopia, or some other form of interruption, I'd rather go into that than just the standard play where you get Adoration. Adoration is not really going to do anything for you. That's the problem. So, I only have the 2 Fusion Destiny here. I know a lot of people are going to dislike me for that, but 2 seems to be okay. Because I just need it for Dystopia, that's it. And then kind of just going into the one-ofs here real quick. Miracle Fusion, don't ever want to see it in my hand. Dark Calling, don't ever want to see that in my hand. Hero Lives, kind of nice to see in the hand, but it's risky. 1 Reinforcement of the Army, standard. Now here's kind of where we're going to get into probably the fat trimming thing. This is probably where you can cut like most of this stuff I'm gonna tell you. Favorite hero. Favorite hero came out in the new Legendary Duelist Magical Heroes. I like Favorite Hero because Favorite Hero, for those who don't know what it does, and I imagine not a lot of you even really care to notice, if you could, if I control a card in my field zone, he cannot be targeted by card effects, and he also gains his defense. And I know what you're thinking. Like, a lot of the heroes don't really have a lot of good defense, except for Bane. Bane's got 3,000. So, if you go into a board wipe with Bane, you can equip him with Favorite Hero. Now he can't be targeted. You can send this away at once he destroys a monster by battle, and then Bane can attack again. So that's pretty nice. The field spell I do run in here is Fusion Recycling Plant. I like Fusion Recycling Plant because of all the field spells you can use with heroes, this is the only one that makes any sense whatsoever. So once per turn you can start 1 card, add 1 polymerization from deck or grave to hand. So that's pretty nice. And also it's another good way to get Mally out of your hand if you bricked with that. The second effect, which is also pretty nice, is if you fusion summon, you can take a material from that fusion summon and then add that to your hand. So that's pretty nice, and I like seeing that. And then probably the next one, I don't know. This is kind of one I'm kind of like debating on back and forth, is Legacy of a Hero. Legacy of a Hero, I just have returned 2 fusion monsters that list hero monsters as material, and I can draw 3. Now, really quick, just going through extra deck here, is the ones that these apply to. It doesn't apply to the mask ones, but it does apply to F-Zero, Sunrise, it does apply to Trinity, and does apply to Bane and Dystopia. So, Bane will just return 2 of them, which, let's be honest, if you get Nibiru'd, at least you can combo back. The ability to draw 3. Another thing, which is one I was kind of debating it between, was Pot of Avarice. Pot of Avarice is I return 5 and then draw 2. So, I don't know, it kind of depends on how you want to think about it this way, but since, Nibiru is usually, a hero's player's worst nightmare, if you're going to at least do that, at least Legacy of a Hero makes me viable again. 1 Foolish Burial. I have the Foolish Burial in here to kind of make up for the 3rd Fusion Destiny, so I can just send Shadow Mist, because I don't run Dangerous in the main extra. 1 Discount Lightning Storm, because you might as well. And that for the most part is pretty okay. It works, so And plus, if I'm going to be against a hero mirror match, there's really not much they can do to either Lightning Storm or Raigeki. So Raigeki, welcome back to the format. Glad to have you back. Next, the thing I'm going to use to prepare for about anything that comes my way is Prohibition. Prohibition, target Nibiru, the Primal Being, and please do not play that card, okay? Is it the best? No. Do I have to hard draw it? Yes. But is it a way to prevent them from getting Nibiru or any other of their main combos? Yes. It's pretty nice. And then rounding up the spells is then, of course, 2 Cosmics and 3 Calls. Really don't care what you do on yours, but man, I better make sure that I can go through mine. Okay, that right there is now all the spells. 3 traps. We have 2-minute permanences, because again, I like being able to do what I want to do on my turn, and then of course 1 red reboot, because I fear Evenly Matched. Evenly Matched and Nibiru are about the only 2 things I really absolutely fear in this deck. So those are that. Going on to extra then real quick is then of course 2 Cross Crusaders, 1 Runner Driver, 1 Dread Dismare, standard. 2 Dark Law, standard. Blast, again, the only other way to get over something like there can only be 1. Anki, get that, direct damage in. Acid, Ab-Zero, because we do run Liquid, so he's a very viable card. Also, it's another pseudo Raigeki. And then with Acid, this is Lightning Storm, but in 2 cards. Sunrise, because Sunrise is amazing. Trinity for OTK. Mortgage Payment, otherwise known as Malicious Bane. Again, Bane, worth it. Everybody else, a dust of gold, I don't know. Kind of up to you. 1 Dystopia, because again, I really want the only one. This is really the only one I think that really needs to be run. You're really only going to use Dangerous to just go into Shama so you can get a search, but so for the most part, I really don't care about Dangerous. And then 1 Starting Venom Fusion Dragon, because I still think for the most part, with Danger Luna Lights and a whole bunch of the other decks still running around, I still rather be able to go into that. I also have other targets that I can go into for that, so we'll get back to that in a second. Alright. I do side the Dangerous, though. I do side the Dangerous. Now we're going on to some of our Super Poly targets. Great Tornado for Appaloosa. Adoration for Hero Matches. Chimera for Salad. Noah Master for Infernoids. Divine Wind's kind of just like a backup one. It's pretty nice to have Divine Wind because it limits their ability to attack, and then if I destroy something with Divine Wind, which is pretty likely, I can draw. And then the sides is then 1 Droll. I would think about maining Droll, but now it's 59 cards, so I mean, sue me. 1 Nibiru, 1 DD Crow. Again, for the most part, if I could play most of those in main, I probably would. I do have 1 Destiny Hero Draw Hand. Draw Hand was kind of one of the last cards I took out, but I like still having, because the thing with Draw Hand, which is why I like them, is again, it's another draw. Sure, you can draw too, but really the main thing I want to go into with Draw Hand is if you do get Nibiru, for the most part, you don't have a lot of recursion. Sure, you can get increase for in your spawn trap card zone, but then you can use Draw Hand if you did it off Fusion Destiny. Get them back next turn, tribute, increase, get Vine, and then basically recombo back off. And then spells is then Twin, Thetford, Fusion Destiny, Dark Ruler No More, Destiny Draw, because again, I just thought it would be a nice thing to have extra draw power, and Wiretap. I have the Wiretap in here because at least then if I'm gonna go against somebody like Altergeist or something like that, at least then with Red Reboot and then Wiretap, at least that might be something. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the kind of weird, in all honesty, hero deck profile that I have for you. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to ask you to leave a comment down below because I am expecting this thing to get the dislikes like it's nobody's business, because it's not really that good. But to me, it's good. I like it. It really does what it needs to do. You know, is it weird? Is it clunky? Yes, but man, when it goes off, it goes off. And for the most part, though, ironically enough, it actually really does beat a lot of decks. This has really been kind of like my go-to competitive deck for right now, and it's really just putting in the work. You know, I've really not had any problem with this. There's nothing where I'm like, oh, I made the deck really overbearing and clunky and stuff like that. And it's fine. It really is, like, absolutely fine. You know, there's not really a whole lot I would really, like, change about it. Yeah, I could probably, you know, trim all, like, you know, like, the fat cards or whatever. But, again, for the most part, you know, like, you know, there's a lot of people who are, like, running, like, the Super Poly stuff, but at least that way, at least kind of gives me an unpredictable edge, because a lot of people aren't even bothering to play the Super Poly. And I know there's not a lot of things that, you know, are really Super Poly, like, worthy these days, but I don't know. And then plus, then either way, the other positive thing is then if I can't Super Poly you, at least I can Super Poly myself to go on Starving Venom and just go for game that way. So there we go. That is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really do appreciate your time for watching this video. And until then, I'll catch you guys in the next deck profile. And until then, God bless, and have a good one.